Hello all, Onigato in the garden again, and we're starting in the backyard, starting all the way in the back. And since one of the tomato plants decided to just completely die on me, I took the opportunity to move the cage over here for the, what is this, cucumbers. Hopefully, this will do a couple of things. One, it'll hopefully get them a little bit more sunlight. Snail. And two, it'll get their leaves up off of the ground so that they can be, well, you can see all the damage that occurred with that massive rainstorm. And the bugs and the snails and everything else deciding to take a snack on my plants. But by having them up off the ground like this, hopefully, oh, that broke. Bother. It wasn't in good condition anyways. Hopefully I'll be able to get something out of them finally. And you can see I do have a cucumber. Hopefully it grows. And not a whole lot else. There is a bean over here. Or there was. There it is. Oh, and it dissolved. Or got eaten. Great. Just peachy. I was really kind of hoping for that one. But you can see the rest of the stuff, the beans there, they keep bouncing and then dying and then bouncing and then dying. It's not good. There's the tomato that died, and I pulled the cage from it. That tomato is surviving, though poorly. Bell 1, Bell 2. Bell 1 looks like it's trying to put on flowers, which is something. And then this tomato over here. Main stalk is dead, but then it threw another shoot, so. And that tomato there, not doing too well, but not terribly. I guess they dried out a little bit after that major rainstorm. Still not going to show you the actual compost. It's disgusting. I did just drain it, so it's going to be better, but did a little research on the potatoes. Turns out I planted completely the wrong type at the wrong time of year, and so I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep these going or not. Hopefully I will. You can see the not good stuff happening there. So if I do manage to keep these alive, that'll be great. If not, well, I can try again. Turns out planting them in around here anyways, because I'm in central Texas. Planting these at the very tag end of December all the way to the very first weeks of February is acceptable. If you go any longer than that, it just gets too hot. So, not really part of the garden itself, but the wife discovered these the other day. They just kind of sprouted up on their own. No idea really what they are, but you see they just kind of, they're either a perennial or they self-sowed. Kind of pretty. Wouldn't mind moving them into a more secure location later on. If anybody has any idea what those are, let me know in the comments, please. For the other pots, cantaloupe, moving along. Not very well, but moving along. The celery is also moving along pretty decently. Starting to bush out a little bit, which is good. The bok choy has dissolved, and at least it's fertilizing the soil, right? These beans are doing okay-ish. Not great, but okay. And then the aloe is getting more and more and more sprouts going on. It really liked that rain. The lemongrass doing the same. So I've got 2 pots here, 3, 4, when you really get down to it, that are going to be available for the most part. the one with the bok choy in it, the one that had the radish in it, the one that had the lamb's ear in it, and then the strawberry planter that I'll do something with eventually. So, got to play with those over the next couple of days. Alright, now onto the tomato keeps falling over. The bed is only about 3 inches deep, so the tomato cage doesn't have a lot of ground to hold on to, which is problematic. Arg. But the cantaloupe is doing quite well. It's now been trained over that way and then over to here. I am seeing a lot of lovely flowers on it. Also seeing occasional snails, which is annoying. But just saw this today. I've got more than a few. They're hiding in there. There's one. Right there. Focus. Focus. Wants to focus further away. But you can see there are plenty of little starts. Now, whether any of those will actually form a fruit, I don't know. And this vine is causing problems all over the place. I'll have to find some way to brace this more so. I'll do that later today. Sunflowers. Pretty sure I got some fertilization that went on in that one. And probably that one. So that's good. Tabasco, this is doing pretty well. Have to come out and harvest a few things again. Still not seeing any flowers. I see places where it's trying. Come on, camera, focus. Focus. Come on. It doesn't want to focus today. It's trying to form flowers. And I did recently, yesterday, day before day, no, a couple of days ago, go through and add a little bit more of the fertilizer. The fertilizer in question is designed specifically for improving flower and stem production. A little bit higher in potassium and phosphorus. So, and the sunflowers that aren't already fully fertilized are sprouting out all over the place. So that's pretty and very useful. I think if I'm lucky, obviously the sunflowers are going to die here in the next couple of weeks. That's unsurprising, unremarkable. They lived, they produced seed, they die. That's pretty standard. Hopefully I'll be actually getting a little bit of a harvest off of them. They're not giant sunflowers like I had hoped, but they are sunflowers nonetheless. So I'll be able to get some seed out of them at least, and I've got plenty of seed left. When they're down, I'm probably going to take and turn this bed into, I want to plant something else in this bed. Haven't decided what yet. Probably something fairly low, because it is, let's see, last week of August is this week. We've got probably another 6 or 7 weeks of good solid summer. I mean, I'm in Central Texas. We really don't have any other seasons than summer, but we get cooler nights later on in the season. And I think what I'll do is I'll put something low in that side, and I will keep this side nice and low with the lettuces and similar things. And ooh, getting some yellowing going on in here. And it's looking a little bit dry. I need to water it in. Got it. Haha. Got him that time. Mosquitoes. So what I will do is put that grass right there. Let this grow in with lettuces and such, basically as long as it'll let me. And then First good frost will probably kill this tomato, and then at that point I will go through and build some basically greenhouses or little hoop houses over the top of both sides. Hopefully by then I'll have something good out of the cantaloupe. If not, I've got plenty of seed. I know that the seed that we had is good because, I mean, look at it. I just needed to plant earlier in the season, that's all. If I really wanted to get a good harvest. So, yeah. But with this front bed, I can probably, with low level plants, put down some basic clear painter's plastic over the top of some, probably some wire. Actually, I've got a spool of like a quarter mile of 18 gauge wire, so little thin wire that I can just set up arcs over the top, and then like a pole or something running the length, and then a couple of poles holding that pole up. So then I'll be able to keep small, low-level things like lettuces and maybe some cabbages and stuff like that inside the hoop house. They'll get light because, I mean, painters plastic is, it's basically see-through, but it's thick enough to maintain the heat levels that I need. And I'll just do that on both sides. Not sure what I'm going to do about this bell pepper. Obviously, it's not doing great, but it is beautifully large. So what I might do for this side, is instead of putting poles at, say, the corner posts or center posts here, put a pair of poles here and here, and then another pair of poles down into the ground here and there. Run those up to about yay high. Put the tarp over the top of that, and then just fasten it down somehow. But we still have several weeks for that yet, so. But that's how things are going around here. They're proceeding. In the case of the tomatoes, they're proceeding actually fairly decently, if I could just get the cage to stay upright. So I'll have to do something about that in the next, later today. But I'm actually off to bed now. You all have yourselves a very good day. Bye.